Welcome to our third video in our multi-digit subtraction strategies series. Today we're going to be talking about two of my favorite strategies for subtraction that absolutely blew my mind. We're going to talk about constant difference. We're going to talk about adjusting. The first strategy I want to show you guys is called constant difference. And when I first saw this strategy, it took me a second to wrap my head around it. So why am I teaching you something that is so very difficult? Well, it's actually not difficult. That's the beauty of it. Once you see it and you work it, you're going to love this strategy. The constant difference strategy relies heavily on our knowledge that subtraction is comparing numbers. Subtraction tells us how far apart numbers are. If we understand that, then we can move our numbers as long as we keep that space between them the same. Let me show you what I mean. So we're going to take our minuend and subtrahend and move them up and down the number line, keeping them the same distance apart. 11 minus 8, they're 3 apart. If I move both of those numbers down 1, they're still 3 apart. If I move both of those numbers up 2, they're still going to be 3 apart. Keeping that distance the same is what makes this strategy work. You can see when we subtract numbers, as long as we keep the difference the same, we can move ourselves to a zone where we're a much easier problem to solve. Here's another example. Looking at this problem, we know that we need to adjust that subtrahend. Adding 8 to each will make 392 400. I'm celebrating because now I don't have to do any regrouping to solve this problem. And it has the same difference as my original problem. When we use constant difference, of course, there's lots of ways that you can utilize this strategy. Here are some key points to keep in mind. I want to keep the number that I am taking away to be simpler. That would be the subtrahend. I want the subtrahend to be usefully simple to make the problem easier. A lot of students will try and make the minuend much more simple, and what happens is the problem doesn't become simple and this strategy doesn't work out. So if we can keep that key point in mind, it really helps students utilize this strategy. Here's one more example on constant difference, just in case you needed to see it again. Looking at this problem, the first thing you might want to do is make 700 out of the 702. But if we take 3 away from each, we have 699 to work with. That means that we won't have to do any regrouping. We want to find all of those 9s so that there's less regrouping to do, and we can just subtract down. Again, both problems have the same answer. Which one would you rather solve? The other subtraction strategy I wanted to bring into this video is called adjusting. Basically, what I'm doing is overshooting or undershooting by just a little bit so that I can take away a much simpler number or a rounded number. So you might call this adjusting or rounding. For example, I can take away a little bit too much and then work my way back, or I can take away a little bit too little and then adjust up. Here is an example of the adjust strategy. This problem might be difficult with that 19. We know we have regrouping, but 19 is just 1 less than 20. So when I subtract 20, I'm just taking away an extra one that I'll have to get back. So taking away 20 just changes my tens place, and then I can add that extra one back in. One more time, take a look at how the adjust strategy could be used. I bet it's something that you do when you use mental math on your own. Looking at a larger problem, 189 is just close to 200. In fact, it's 11 away. So we can take away 200 and change just our hundreds place, and then add in a 10 and a 1 to get us to our difference. Believe it or not, that's it for today. 2 strategies that are awesome and so helpful that hopefully you could use every day as well. I wanted to bring these in. Please feel free to share these with your children and take a look at how they might be helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon on Mathy Goodness.